It's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's our goal. Hey, it's time for breaking bread with Papa. Hey, don't you know? Hey, it's also a show.
Hey, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. What's going on, you crazy buggers? Hope you're doing well. I don't know really where to look because we've got our friends on our podcast, and then we have our friend here on the Instagrams. Hey, hearts, thumbs ups. Look at all of you good people. Hello. Nice to see you all. Well, we're hanging out here at the headquarters. We're doing it solo today. Nice to see you all. I'm going to use this time to plug my new book. We're all in this together, so make some room. It's coming out a little backwards because we don't have our stand. But on there, it looks good. Very excited about the book. We're all in this together to make some room. It's funny. It's provocative. It tells you all you need to know about loving your fellow man, the good ones, the dumb ones, the ones who you think you don't like. You can learn from them. Because when you watch other people hurt themselves, then you know how to not hurt yourself. Like if you see someone fly off a trampoline into a ceiling fan, you can make a mental note not to do that. Isn't that what all the documentaries on Netflix are? Just ways for you not to die, right? You see people climbing Nepal or swimming with sharks, or that guy who's having sex with that octopus. You can learn from all of that. So nice to see you all. If you can pre-order the book, that would be great. There's an audio book, by the way, so you can hear me read the whole thing, or you can Kindle it or do the other thing. There's also ways to get signed copies. Just go to tompapa.com and you'll get all the links, and it would warm my heart if you bought the book. We also have some live book events. We're going to do Sam Sifton at 92nd Street Y. And then we're going to hang out with Rainn Wilson from The Office. If you're in Los Angeles, we're going to be doing The Grove on June 12th. June 12th, by the way, is my comedy birthday. That's when I started comedy, was June 12th. Do you want to guess the year, Joey?
1776.
No. That's wrong.
1991?
1993. 1993. If you can do the math, that means I've been doing stand-up for 30 years. Holy cow. No wonder I don't have hair. Nice to see you. Who do we have here in the chatty chat? Hello from Italy. Nathan, nice to see you in Italy. God, what time is it there? It's got to be nighttime. Hello from Oregon. Nice to see you, Vicky. Nice. 1936. What are all these old jokes? Sabina said 1492. Monique is the only nice one saying 1996. What is wrong with you guys? You know, just because I'm a comedian doesn't mean I'm not vulnerable to your barbs and witticisms. I don't know. Do I look like I've been doing it for 30 years? On this camera, I feel like I haven't been. On this one, I feel like I definitely have. Come to Chico State in California. Why would I do that? Just to walk around? Or you mean do stand-up there? Wow, 30 years. Yes, my whole adult life. That's all I've done. Thank you, Nikki. Nikki, I don't know if you guessed 93 or you just heard me say 93, but yes, 93. Very exciting. I haven't been live for a while with you all. This is very nice to see you all. Love you, Carol. Saw you in Cincinnati. Wasn't that a great show, Kim? We love Cincinnati. We love Cincinnati. Hi from Texas. Nice to see you, Nikki. Rainn Wilson will be at the horror convention in Florida next month. Oh, that's funny. Oh, for House of a Thousand Corpses. That's how I became friends with Rainn Wilson. Our mutual friend, Rob Zombie, was making House of a Thousand Corpses, and And my friend Jen was cast in it, and Rain was cast in it, of course, and that's how we all kind of cross paths. And all these years later, we're all pals. Rainn Wilson has a book out now called Soul Boom, which is a great book. My book talks about how we should just all like each other, and it's comedic essays. Rain's book, I think, is actually like, this is how we can actually save the world with our souls, which is, it shows he's more powerful. You just got home. Welcome home, Kim. Home is a nice place to be. Tony from Laredo, Texas. I'm going to go do Rogan's Club in the beginning of June in Austin. You guys go to Austin? You're bored at work, Mary? Good for you. Well, now you have something to do. You can hang out with us. This is us in our podcast studio. I can show it to you all. You want to see where my assistant Abraham Lincoln is? He's over there. And we have Frank the Pug right here. This is all our cookbooks from our guests who have rolled through. This is our little shammy-lammy thing in the background. And this is where we do our podcast most of the time. New Jersey, nice to see you, Tom. North Carolina, we're going there. We're going to Durham. Humboldt, you guys really had all the weed locked down. Not anymore. Not anymore. The Pine Barrens in New Jersey. Barbara, that's where the Jersey Devil lives. That's so scary. Saw you in Grass Valley, California. That was a little while ago. That was a good show. Can't wait for you to come to Portland. Have been sure to been at all your shows here. Oh, thank you, Marnie. We were at, what theater did we do in Portland? There was a theater we did there not too long ago. Yeah, this is where the magic happens. We didn't make bread, Lux, because it was just me. I have 2 great loaves of bread at home, but I didn't feel like I had to bring them and give them to myself. The new podcast we just put up with Harlan Williams just dropped today. Harlan Williams, a very funny man, came in, and he didn't think that that my bread was my bread. And he beat it up and called it Panera Bread. What a dick. Hi, Molly. Tom, Leanne Morgan, and you together in a show. Yes, I know. I love Leanne. Have you seen her new special? So funny. So Saturday, Matt, we're going to see each other in Detroit. That's exciting. Yeah, I'm doing, where are we going this week? We're going to Cleveland and then Royal Oaks. Yes. Becky, Delaware is on the schedule. Go to tompapa.com because I don't know where, but this summer we are in Delaware. Juniper, we're going to see each other on Friday in the shitty city of Cleveland. Don't say that. It's a nice little town, isn't it? I love Cleveland. I did one of my stand-up specials from Cleveland. I think that show's sold out, so hopefully you got your tickets and we'll be there. Much love from Tacoma. Yeah, I think we're going there too. Man, there's not one place we're not going. I really think we're going to all the places. Iceland. Oh, that's a place we're not going. Yeah. Humboldt State U. Good for you, Lori. And Lori, you spell Lori the same way that the street that I grew up on was Lori Court. And yeah, same spelling. How funny is that? Saw you twice in Connecticut in the past year. Hope to see you in Colorado. This is the problem, Joey. Whenever I do these live streams, I'm so excited to see where all the people are from. All I do is talk about the people saying where they're from. Is everyone from Humboldt? Oh, look at Heather. She's already got tickets to Newark. That's our biggest show ever. That's the biggest theater we've ever done at the Newark Performing Arts Center. Yes. Nikki, Houston, I was just in Houston for the Bush family literacy thing, about my new book, that kind of thing. So I hope you guys are all doing well. This is where we've been hanging out. I went last night to the Dodger game. It was my official summer coming out party, and I got to go see the Dodgers. And I don't know if you're like me. I mean, if you listen to this show, you really probably love food. Last night, let me ask you people. Last night, I went to the Dodger game. Tell me if this is healthy or unhealthy. I had a bratwurst, 1, mustard and sauerkraut, 2 Dodger dogs that come out in foil, and you slather them up and yum, 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 yum. And then I had 2 of those. Then I had Chex Mix. And then, do you know that, I don't know if this is technically correct, but Coors Light, I didn't want to drink. I've been on a I'm not going to drink thing since last Thursday, which brings us only a couple of days, but still, it's my effort. And I decided that I wasn't going to drink, but then I was with my friends at the ball game, so you have to drink. I know some of you are saying, no, you don't. Yeah, you do. And I had Coors Light. I didn't realize drinking Coors Light is like not drinking because there's no alcohol in it. Did you know that, Joey?
I did. Well, my dad grew up. When I grew up, he would drink Coors Light every day. I assumed it was like the best beer out there.
Every day, your dad would drink
every day.
Coors
Well,
Light?
maybe every weekend. And yeah, I asked him one day like, hey, why are you always like getting Coors Light? When I found out it's like a crappy beer, and he's like, oh, I don't know, it's the cheapest. Like, oh, okay.
It's cheap, and I had 2. When you go to the ball game and they're like the size of a small child, and I drank those, no buzz, 2 of them,
Shame.
like 0 buzz.
How dare they?
Yeah. So if I were to give a message to the children or people trying to quit alcohol, drink Coors Light. That should be their slogan. Drink Coors Light. It's not really drinking.
I mean, their slogan is how cold it is, right?
Yeah,
cold as the Rockies.
Yeah, they just care about how cold it is. I have to say the first sip of it was luxurious. So refreshing. That is one of life's greatest pleasures. When it's hot and you're aggravated and you've been commuting or working, and that, I know it's an old cliche, but that first ice cold sip of beer is so refreshing. Second one, not so much. Third one, who cares? But that first one, if you could stop at 1 sip. Who's Joey? Lori, Joey is my producer. He's also helps me out with other things. He goes by the name of Abraham Lincoln. Because whenever he has to do correspondence for me, he helps me on the road and stuff like that. I figured it'd be cool if people, like from a theater, like if I'm going to Cleveland this weekend, I like that the theater gets emails from Abraham Lincoln. It just is, it's just fun. So yeah, that's Joey. Let's just call him Abraham Lincoln. Let's not confuse everybody. Cold beer in the summer, right, Frank? Come on. Look at Frank spelling Frank with it. Frahhnk. Frank. Not like Frank the Pug, who is at home right now in his diaper, just lying out on the... I've been having a real lay-lie problem lately. Just because I write a book, everybody, doesn't mean that I don't get confused about grammar. There's a joke in my act that talks about a dog up on a couch, and I say the dog is lying on the couch, which I think is correct. Frank is lying on the porch in the sun. Frank is laying on the porch in the sun. Frank lied on the porch in the sun. Frank lies on the porch. Frank lays on the porch. Oh, it's a bad one. Do you know it, Abraham Lincoln? That's the other thing. If anyone talks to Abraham Lincoln, you have to use his full name as Abraham Lincoln. You can't shorten it.
The Honorable Abraham Lincoln. I don't know it. No, that's getting into present participle territory, which is not my forte.
I think I looked it up when I was doing the joke that's in my act about the dog lying on the... I think you lie on something, you lay something down. Right?
Makes sense.
But didn't your mom always say to you, just lay down? Mom, I have a stomach ache. Lay down.
I guess that's
Just
kind of
lie
like
down.
put yourself down in that case, you know. But if
Mm.
you were to describe someone in the act, they're already doing it, they'd be lying down.
Lying down?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's better just to rewrite that one. You guys know? Does anyone out there know? It'd be helpful if you guys were smarter than me. That would be good. Frank lay on the porch. Frank lied while laying on the porch. Oh, thanks, Lori. That's really helping us out a lot. Nice to see you, Todd, young man. So I hope everyone's doing all right. So last night, as I said, I went to the Dodger game. And it was my summer coming out party. Let me finish my menu. So it was 1 bratwurst, sauerkraut and mustard, 2 Dodger dogs, all foiled up, then Chex Mix. Then it was the Chex Mix that says bagel chips are back, which I didn't realize they had left. I didn't realize they had a falling out, but they're back. And it kind of made me think when I was eating them, like, yeah, I don't think I've eaten this in a while. Chex Mix is our family beach snack. Someone rolls up to the beach and they've got that in their bag. They're going to be very popular. 2 Giant Coors Lights, no alcohol in them. Apparently, that's their thing. Then, I'm sitting at the seats. I got chicken fingers and fries. That looked really good. They were pretty horrible. But when you have a baseball game in front of you, Dodger Stadium, palm trees, glorious stadium. I had fancy seats because I wasn't paying. And in that environment, chicken fingers are delicious. It's amazing when you take things out of context and put them someplace else, how great they are. Like putting shitty chicken fingers at a ball game. They're the greatest chicken fingers of all time. You take like a bad horrible sandwich. You put it on a boat that you've been rowing, like I would have to do as a child, and the greatest sandwich of all time. So the chicken fingers and fries, and then I went in and foraged for some cookies. I had a chocolate chip cookie, I had an oatmeal cookie, and some sprinkly cookie, all raw. Baseball stadium raw cookies. I ate them. I'm not going to not eat them. So do you think that that's, for someone going to a ball game, do you think that is on par? Or do you think that guy's disgusting? If you could see a human being eating a bratwurst, 2 hot dogs, 2 beers, I should also mention for the health of it, I had a little clump of salad. And then chicken fingers and fries. That's not so bad, right? I'm not an animal. I'm not disgusting. I was with a guy who was late because he stopped at the first hot dog vendor he saw, and he had 5. He's going to have the gout, right? You don't want the gout. As much as we love food around here, and our whole podcast is talking to people about food, you don't want to be diabetic, and you don't want the gout. We saw a guy at a theater that we were doing last weekend who lost his toe because of diabetes. They didn't even lose it. Someone chopped it off his body. I didn't realize. Well, and I thought diabetes, you just had to get a shot of that Ozempic stuff, and then you lost all that weight. Joe, Abraham Lincoln, you're skinny. You don't have to really watch what you eat, right? You can eat whatever you want.
Not really, yeah.
You can eat everything.
I got to eat more, if anything.
If you don't eat a lot, you start to fade away like that movie.
Yeah.
What's that guy called? Thinner Man?
Thinner Man, I don't know.
I think that might be a Stephen King scary too skinny guy thing.
My worst nightmare.
Doug, Nathan's is calling. Yes, Nathan's is a great hot dog. Nathan's might be the greatest hot dog. When I'm home, though, I will grill a nice Hebrew National. But I have to say I'm out of shape with the hot dog eating because that was my first, as I said, the first ball game of the year and went off on the hot dogs a little bit. I was like, I don't know if I can keep going, which is so disappointing. I feel like an adult male should be able to eat about a dozen hot dogs at a game. That seems like average.
But see, you had the variety in yours, which is good. You know, like 5 hot dogs, that's disgusting. But you get 2 hot dogs, 2 baskets of chicken fingers, 2 beers, pinch of salad. It's pretty good.
That's pretty good. It's not so bad. I felt like garbage when I got home. I didn't feel that great. But I wasn't drunk, which was pretty great. You know?
Yeah, strange.
I didn't get hammered. All my other adult friends were drinking booze, hard booze in paper cups, getting hammered. Lori made a good comment. Abraham Lincoln, so skinny. It's true. The original Abraham Lincoln was pretty skinny too.
Yeah. From that one shot, they can just tell I'm a skeleton. I'm a freak.
Yeah, they know that you're a skinny mini. I feel like that was pretty good, but then I got home and I realized I had defrosted because this was a surprise baseball game. I had some Hebrew Nationals waiting for me in the refrigerator. I haven't broken those open. They say every hot dog you eat, you take 30 minutes off your life. Worth it? Probably. Nathan's hot dog is the best hot dog to get when you're out. Hebrew National is the best hot dog to make when you're in. You're grilling up by yourself, throw Hebrew National up. You're out and about, you get a sweet Nathan's with a waffle fry, those little crinkle fries. Come on. With a wooden fork. Come on. That's living.
Context matters.
Yeah. Good word. Wiser words have never been said, Abraham Lincoln. Wise words indeed. So the summer really officially kicks off on Memorial Weekend, which is when I'm in Atlantic City. I don't think you can get tickets for that either. Selling out a lot of shows thanks to you guys. You guys want to buy the new book? We're all in this together, so make some room. Look, it's got pages. No pictures. We should put a picture in once. That would be exciting. You want to hear some of the... I'll read you some of the table of contents. And you use your little imagination to see if you know what it's about. Introduction. That one's tough. I don't know if you'll get that. You're totally not crazy. That's about how we're all nuts. And it points out some things that we all do that are nuts, that you may think you're alone, but you're not. My town, your town, our town. Dad is flying the plane. I really like that essay. These are all comedic essays, by the way. Dad is flying the plane, I really like because everybody thinks their family is nuts. Everybody always says, if you ask someone, how's your family? They're usually, yeah, they're good. Are they normal? What? Normal? No one's normal. Which is kind of a scary concept when you think, okay, so someone's at home looking at their dad and thinking, that guy's a moron. Why? How does he even function? My dad's got all these hang-ups. My dad's drinking Coors Light every day, like an alcoholic in Boston. That would be great if the family members all just stayed at home, but they don't. That guy's he could be a pilot. You see a pilot walk by, that guy you hope is doing a good job. His daughter thinks, no, that guy's a moron. That's kind of frightening. Every crazy person in your family who you shit on is out in the world trying to do stuff with other people. Very frightening. And I made it into a comedic essay. See how it all works? This is how you're getting a look in the writer's mind. Don't eat that. That's self-explanatory. The stuff that finds us. Quit complaining. Cats. Ancient menace. Don't swim alone. That was your favorite, right? When Abraham Lincoln was proofreading the book. And the one that really stuck with him, I believe, is Don't Swim Alone.
I would say so. Yeah, I would say it's. I mean, very interesting to to get the perspective of sort of reading all of these personal things about the guy you work for, and yeah, I would say that chapter in particular really got me going.
Yeah, because I poop in my pants.
Yeah, that might be part of it. Yeah, part of the equation.
That's why you shouldn't swim alone. Things are going to happen that you're not expecting.
That would have never happened if I was there.
No.
No, I would have stopped it.
Yeah, your friends look out for each other.
Yeah.
The Lessons of Mark Twain's Cigars. That's a good essay. That essay comes from the that comes from a dark part of my life. No, I was traveling. Mark Twain, I went to the museum, which I think is at Elmira University College up in New York State. There's a little writer's hut of where Mark Twain lived, where he wrote. He lived in a house with his family. They built him a little, I forget the name of it. It's an octagon-shaped little writing cabin, and that's where he would go write. And he smoked 32 cigars a day. 32 cigars a day. That's probably why they built him the little house, because he smelled like shit. So he's out there, and I realized nobody can smoke 32 cigars a day. Impossible. You'd be dead. I mean, he is, but he would have been dead earlier. 32 cigars a day. And I realized, oh, not only is he a genius just for his writing, but he knows how to navigate human relationships. And he knew if he stayed in the house with all these people, he'd never be able to write Huckleberry Finn and Tom Sawyer and all of his great books. So he just started lighting up cigars until they kicked him out of his own house, and then built him a little writer's shed, and then he got to go be alone.
The dream.
It's a dream. When you have a family, I mean, if you're going to write, if you're going to do that stuff, you got to get out of your house. You can't stay in there. There's too much distraction. When I wrote this book, not to put myself anywhere in the realm of Mark Twain, but this could only be written when everyone's out of the house. You close the door and they know not to knock. Because if you live in a family, there's always a noise that's going to distract you, because there's always some bang and then a cry, or somebody yelling out for help, or, oh no, Frank just peed on the bed again. That's constantly happening. And just to walk out and say, I'm leaving you, it doesn't make sense. But if you could light up a cigar and then they kick you out of the house, problem solved. Look, Marshall knows. We're live streaming this at the same time on Instagram. That study is in Elmira, New York. Exactly, Marshall. Did you go? It's very cool. He had one of the very first typewriters. He didn't really use it so much to write because it was so early. Does the pre-sale book come with a free loaf of bread? Dawn, you know, you are aggressive and adorable, and I wish I could. You know what I was thinking? Abraham Lincoln, Dawn, you weigh in on this. It's hard to ship bread. I'm constantly baking bread. We constantly have a lot of bread around. I can't pass that out. But what if I made the bread into croutons and everybody got one little crouton?
I think that'd work.
I think that's pretty cheap to ship.
Yeah.
One crouton.
How would you do that?
Just put in a little baby bubble wrap in a little baby envelope
Mm-hmm.
and send it to Dawn's house.
But how do you turn bread into croutons? Do you know how to do that?
Don't embarrass me. Don't embarrass me in front of my friends. I'm a bread baker. Of course I can make them into croutons.
Okay.
I can make bread. I take my Marshall went to Elmira College. That's cool. Did you get drunk and go into that study? That's exciting. I feel like I might make the best croutons of anyone in the world. Because I make a lot of sourdough bread, and then I've got the leftovers, and it gets a little stale, and you chop it up into those big crunchy crouton sizes, and then you put them with olive oil on a sheet, a baking sheet, and you put it into the oven, and you crisp them up. And then you herb them up with a little garlic, maybe some herbes de Provence, maybe just some rosemary, whichever way you want to go. I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. And then you have croutons. And then you throw those glorious croutons in your salad, and they soak up the oil and the vinegar and get a little softer. Oh, my God. Come on.
You convinced me.
There's nothing better. Nothing better. And then you go to a ball game like an animal and you're eating hot dogs. Put them in crack baggies. That's a good idea. Look at that. See, people are lighting up with the crouton idea. Look at all these people. They're going crazy. Croutons are easy to make. Tom, croutons, yes, please. Looking forward to seeing you at JFL in Montreal. Bring croutons. Yeah, Lori likes crunchy croutons. John says delicious. See, this is how you get online marketing. Now we're dealing with the people. The people are telling you what they want. It's not a one-way street. It's a great recipe for blueberry and pineapple bread. Jim, you are high. Beth says, does sourdough bread have sugar in it? No, it doesn't. It doesn't. If you buy it in the store, it might. But if you make it at home, no. Flour, water, salt, and yeast. That is it. That's the reason people can't eat bread, because they're throwing sugar in it and all these other garbage things. Hi, Tom. Greetings from Germany. Nice to see you, Germany. My grandfather lived in Mönchengladbach until about 1938 when he was a little boy. Tell me how to live my life, please. Well, Lori, what do you need to know? Give me a question, and I will help you. Croutons, yes. Joyce loves croutons, too. You could eat Hershey's Kisses and use the foil. Oh, that's a good idea, Frank. Yeah, we could use the Hershey Kiss thing for our croutons. Plum, Pennsylvania. Nice to see you, Plum. I'm reading a book called Plum Island right now. Bread for all. Been married for 34 years. You are the only thing my husband and I agree on. Thanks for keeping it. I hope you agree that I'm funny and not that you agree that that guy's got a fat head. Joyce, where what? Where what? I wish I had the patience to bake bread. Yeah, well, I can send it to you. Come to Indianapolis. Is Indianapolis on the schedule? I feel like it might be.
We announced it today.
Did we really?
Yeah, tickets. The episode will be out already. Tickets will be on sale by then.
Did you hear that, Beth? When this episode, it's already on sale. We just announced that we're coming to Indianapolis. You're welcome. Greetings from Miami, Florida. Are you guys going to stay above water? I'm not sure if that's a thing. I'm not sure if Miami is going to stay above water. I feel, Joey, as if I'm doing two broadcasts here. I've got our podcast, and the podcast people are like, oh, this is really good. Oh, wait, now he's talking to strangers we don't know or see. And then the Instagram people are like, what? He's just talking and not commenting on my comment. And now they're saying, oh, he's talking to me about my comments. Right?
Yeah.
I hope everyone understands that you're not the only person in the world, and sometimes you have to share your life with other people. Saw you in Atlantic City. You were fantastic. Can't wait to see you again. I'm coming back to Atlantic City. I think it's sold out on Memorial Day weekend. But if you can go to Atlantic City, you can definitely go to the Newark Performing Arts Center in October. That show's going to be huge. It's like 2,500 people. Biggest show we've ever done. Very excited. Minnesota, give a shout out. We love you. I love you too. And I'm coming to St. Paul. Is that okay if you can come over to St. Paul? That's close. We're going to be there in the fall. You make our world better. Come back to California. I'm in California right now, Laura. Come to Sarasota. Maybe. Hello from Michigan. Funny man. Hi there, Paula. Miss Hamburg in your tour. What? I don't see you live now on Instagram. Did you hear that? How do you not see me live and then you're seeing me live? What do you mean? You guys can see me. Can't you see me? Or is she just playing? How is Frank? Doreen wants to know. Doreen, Frank is, he's great. If he didn't pee and I didn't have to put him in a diaper, I would be very excited. He'd be a great dog if he didn't have that little flaw of having to pee everywhere. Little Papa sourdough starter packaged with lid cover with a stylized line drawing of you. Oh. What is the name of your podcast, Tom? It's called Breaking Bread with Tom Papa. If you haven't listened to it, you really should, because, I mean, the guests that we have Harlan Williams on this week. We've had Gaffigan, Kathleen Madigan, Joe Rogan, Tom Segura, Miss Pat, Rosebud Baker. I mean, the list goes on and on. Everybody in comedy and amazing food people. We've had Vito from Vito's Pizza. We've had Sam Sifton on the program. We have all these food people, all these comedy people on the Breaking Bread podcast. How about that? Well, I love you guys on Instagram. I'm going to say goodbye to you all. This was nice to check in. Again, if you can buy my book, that would be wonderful. Forgive me if I talk about my book a lot over the next couple of weeks, but it's coming out. So that's what's going to happen. Because we have to spread the word. Unless you spread the word, and then I don't have to. That could work too. Love you guys on Instagram. We'll see you soon. Say goodbye to Abraham Lincoln. And we'll see you soon. Oh, podcast people. What a relief, right? Oh, my God. Those people were all over us. I mean, we
naming cities.
I mean, every week we're here with our podcast people, and we have this great relationship. And then this week, it's like our party got crashed.
Crazy.
They are nuts, those Instagrammers. One lady just kept yelling Humboldt repeatedly over and over. What do you want me to do? What do you want me to say?
Get humbled.
Wow. Post for 30 days. I don't even know how it works. It's all part of the book promotion. Joey, there's a couple book food people. Here's a question, and I ask this sincerely of our podcast listeners. We have a great podcast, a nice loyal following. Do you want more comedy or more food? Do you want more people from the food world coming on and a little less comedy? I mean, we're always hilarious, but you know what I mean. Comedian guests or chef guests. I'm not sure. What do you think? I think that people right now lean towards the comedy side.
Right. I would think so too. I also think the food element, it provides sort of something fun for people who otherwise, maybe aren't into that, or of course are into that, and you sort of satisfy everyone because there's always
look,
some food,
if you're going on Joe Rogan's podcast or you're going to Santino's podcast, it's all comedy. You're never going to be breaking into Mom's recipe for corn nuts. Not that we ever did that, but you know what I mean. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
All we can do is the things that we love.
We could just do this every week. Go on
Could
Instagram
we?
Live.
Yeah.
I get to talk.
Calm down. I really believe that as long as we're having fun, they're having fun. But again, I apologize to everybody for those Instagram people just jumping over the fence and coming into our podcast and just yelling all the places. This is the comedian's curse. You're on tour, you just put up On Sale Indiana, and then someone's yelling at you, why don't you come Indiana. This weekend, I'm going to Cleveland and Detroit, and by the time this airs, that'll be over. But Joey will not be coming along because his mommy and daddy are coming to Los Angeles, and he can't make the trip. I feel like this has been your first exposure ever to the road. You've never been on the road before in any capacity.
Yeah.
I can tell because of how you get in all the wrong lines at the airport.
How I conduct myself?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're uber focused and getting lost a lot.
Mm-hmm.
What is your biggest impression of the road? If you were to say, describe what being on the road is like in one sentence.
One sentence. Nonstop adrenaline rush. That'd probably be no, it's I don't know. I've definitely, I would say like my first impression, like just stepping into a hotel room and the big grin on my face of like, wow, I'm working right now.
Mm-hmm.
I get to stay in a hotel. It was pretty awesome for me. But yeah, I would say it's a very interesting kind of workload that does take a lot out of you.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to be kind of traveling in the mornings, have a couple, maybe 3 hours in the afternoon to kind of decompress. And then an hour of that's gone by and you're like, can we just start the show? I want to start the show and go to bed and all that.
Start the show and go to bed? What do you mean?
Home.
Oh, I see.
No. Yeah, I've loved it though.
Do you feel like it is easier or harder than you imagined?
Maybe harder in the sense that I never sleep, and then that comes with a whole new set of challenges when I wake up in the morning. But
you are on the move a lot.
Yeah. And yeah, I mean, you know it. We've get back from a show around midnight, and then we're Ubering to the airport at 6 a.m, and it's it's tough.
Do you feel like it is a life that you could see living, or does it make you think I should definitely have to get into production and into a writer's room?
Yeah, I definitely think I could do it. I mean, I'm always so impressed by how you're able to, I mean, even when we did that show together, you had sort of 100 additional things going on, in addition to the 9 to 5 show we were doing. And so, yeah, I could definitely see myself, enjoying the kind of energy of it right now and feeling like I could, do it myself, people will come see me, but
you're also tapping into, you've got to understand, you are tapping into the tour at its best.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the only place to go from here is to be like on a private jet.
Right.
You are sliding in a time when we could actually eat in real restaurants, where we could stay in decent hotels, where cars are coming to pick us up and bring us places. The beginning was so different.
Mm-hmm.
The beginning of having to get like the cheapest rental car you could possibly find, which was 2 inches by 2 inches. Usually a Yugo or a Mini Cooper, and then size thing, not even as fancy as a Mini Cooper, and then have to drive it for hours into like the woods to go to stand up in a bar where nobody wants to see comedy. And then you would have to sleep in the back of the bar in the comedy condo, right, where they would put you up. And you think, well, I'm in a bar, I'm allowed to eat this food. No, you can only eat one of these 2 items on the menu. And they would circle them and be like, you eat this, you dirty comedian. And then they give you $50. And then you drive back and take like 3 connecting flights to get between Pittsburgh and Pittsburgh you would drive and get from Cleveland to New York City.
Mm-hmm.
you would make entire meals out of a gas station. You just go into a gas station, and that's where you would get dinner.
Grab a honey bun, 600 calories.
Honey bun, a Gatorade, and then maybe steal some Butterfingers. When's the last time that you shoplifted? When's the last time you put something in your pocket and walked out? Knowingly or unknowingly?
Ooh.
Don't lie.
I would probably say there's a candy store in our town called Penny Candy Store. Then turned into Charlie's if you're trying to find the place.
Okay.
Now it's a house.
All right.
And yeah, my friends would very much normalized in my circle where I was like, oh, okay, I could try this, and then just doesn't hit the same. I felt kind of bad.
You did feel bad?
Yeah.
But you kept doing it.
No, it I cut
You stole once.
Yeah, probably stole once.
And learned your lesson and never stole again.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And this was you as a young Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
This is as a young boy.
Yeah, I also remember working like a summer camp once. We went to the aquarium. We're leaving, and a bunch of my coworkers had taken just like a bunch of shit from the aquarium, from the gift shop, and I was like, "Why would you want any of this? Like, what? What was the purpose of taking these?" So, yeah, hard to justify in most cases, I guess, particularly at the aquarium gift shop.
Yeah.
When was the last time you stole something?
Last night.
Oh.
I walked into Dodger Stadium, and I looked around, and I saw this whole tray of hot dogs, and I grabbed them and made a run for it. And then I realized I was in the section where it's all free.
So you didn't steal?
No, but in my heart, did I? Maybe.
Yeah. It's like when you do something bad in one of your dreams, and it's like, is that really who I am? Is that just a freak,
How many people have you murdered in your dreams?
Plenty.
Really?
Well, I would say I have a yearly repeating zombie dream. Those are like pretty.
A zombie dream?
common,
That's because you
yeah.
watched that dumb show all those years.
Yeah, it's 7 years of Walking Dead fandom or whatever it was. Yeah.
You were deep into that.
Yeah, but those are fun. I feel like a dream where there's like a big story happening is a good dream.
I have dreams once in a while. Not that I murder somebody, but that I have, and I'm being exposed. The after all these years, they come back, and they're like, "Hey, we're just asking some routine questions about this guy." And I realize, oh no, they're on to me. This is it. The gig is up. Is it the gig is up or the jig is up?
Jig.
The jig is up. They're coming to get me.
Yeah. Well, that's probably my most common dream too, is like I've done something wrong. Actually, like I've cheated on something, or I've stolen something, and I'm waiting for the shoe to drop.
Yeah. That usually means that you're carrying something, a secret, or a guilty feeling over something you may have done or said, and then it manifests itself in you running around dreamland with the coppers bearing down on you because you're a murderer.
Zombies chasing you because you're a bad guy.
I don't think the zombies coming to get you is the same.
No, that dream's probably...
They just want to eat you.
Yeah, that's a good dream because you're the hero there, You're not you didn't do something horrible and everyone's about to find out.
I know people get grossed out when they think about having to eat another human being. But when Harlan was here, he seemed to feel like he would eat me pretty quickly.
He made it sound pretty appetizing.
Yeah, he made it seem like if we were on the road together and we just missed our flight, he would start chomping on my arm.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear a couple other chapters and we're all in this together, so make some room?
Let's do it.
Another essay. Yeah, I don't know if you call them chapters. Essays, I would probably say. surviving childhood. That's a message to children. You know, we have a lot of people, young people, come to our shows because they find me hilarious and their parents know that I'm not disgusting. And I speak directly to children about, because I have been a child. I didn't just show up like this. I actually went through, I was a boy for a while. And I teach them how to steal money from their parents and how to survive what they're going through. Because I think it's important for children to understand that even though your parents act like you're not going through anything, which I do with my kids, you just want to make sure that they buck up and get on with life. It's nice to hear from adults. It's usually an uncle or an aunt who like takes you on the side and is like, I know your mom is an asshole. You know, you won't hear that from your dad, usually, unless they're splitting up, in which case you're dealing with something else. But just your run-of-the-mill childhood, that essay is a funny thing about how to get through it. Why We Return to the Sea. I like that one. That's an essay about why human beings are drawn to the sea through a story of me going crabbing with my family. I should note that the through line for all of these essays is really stuff that you learn from other human beings. That's where the title comes from. We're all in this together. Everything you want to do, everything you're going through, everything you're trying to cure, it's all been done before. So why not recognize that you're not the only thing in the planet? Realize you're part of this giant collective, and you can learn from everybody that's done it before you. It makes life a little bit easier. And you're not so alone. You're not alone. I'm your friend. There's no cure for a hangover. How you know when it's time to go. That's a pretty poignant one. How do you know when it's time to stay in your hometown or leave your hometown? What percentage of people do you think leave their hometown? And what percentage stay and just enjoy their life with the familiar?
People go at different times. I think, maybe leave for college or for a few years in early adulthood. I would probably say, though, that 70% stay, 30 go.
Really?
I don't know.
I would flip that.
Yeah?
I feel like 70% go.
Mm-hmm. But then
But how far? Then you kind of have to deal with, when I think about all of my good friends from high school, who I'm still very close with, they all left. A couple stayed, but most of them left, but didn't go that far.
Right.
Is staying in New Jersey count as going? Kind of does.
Yeah.
But not really.
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know. That's a complicated question. But there are signs of when it's time to go.
Right.
As I say in this poignant essay, that I was starting to look like a volunteer fireman.
Mm.
I was 50 pounds heavier and always smelled like beer. That's a good sign you got to get out of there.
Right.
Some things that can kill us. What we should do on this podcast is actually read a couple of these. That would be a fun thing to do. Not today. Maybe the next one. We're not even halfway through the list, by the way. I'm very excited. This is my third book, and I think you will enjoy it. Again, will fans be like, where are the croutons in this? Where is the recipe? Why aren't you telling us how to bake bread? And maybe that's a whole nother thing. We have all these beautiful cookbooks by all these friends that have visited us here on the podcast. Maybe we get into the cookbook game.
Yeah. Is it too late to add a link to the book to the YouTube channel? You type in the link. that's in the pages.
Why didn't we think about that?
You go to the YouTube.
What do you mean?
No, that'd be pretty silly.
Why?
Oh, you can't click a link in a book, namely. But yeah,
I thought you meant the other way. I thought you meant when you're on YouTube, you can hit
we
link to get us to our book.
Yeah, I mean, actually, that
we should have been doing years ago.
Yeah.
What's wrong with us?
We link to the website. The book's on the website.
Yeah, I guess so.
But yeah,
here's the problem. Look, oh yeah, you ever have panzanella?
No.
That's bread that's a salad it's like a bread salad.
Nice.
That uses this is Katie Parla's book.
Mm-hmm.
She was our guest. She moved to Rome from the States. I think she grew up in New Jersey, and she moved to Rome and went to visit Rome and then stayed. And she's been there now for pretty much her whole adult life. And she went and gathered all of these Southern recipes in the Italian South. And God, the problem is if you really enjoy food and you really enjoy all these recipes, like I'd like to go make the stuff in this book right now. You're not losing weight.
No.
The unfortunate thing, Joey, that normal human beings have, you don't have it because you're skinny mini and you can't gain weight, is, which seems like a blessing to us, which is probably a curse to you, is that the only way to really lose weight, the older you get, is to not eat anything.
Right.
You have to just stop eating.
Yeah.
Such a shame.
I took a biology of exercise and nutrition class in college. Very big deal, very important.
Mm-hmm.
And what we learned is like calorically, it's as simple as like you can have this bag of chips that's like 100 calories.
Yeah.
So long as you go even 50, 100 calories above what that threshold is every day, you will gain the weight. The only way to do it is like be below the caloric threshold, which is
What's the caloric threshold?
Well, it depends. I'm not even sure that's like the right name for it.
You're just making stuff up to our listeners?
Well, we all have an amount we're supposed to eat, right? I guess an amount that would keep us the exact same weight. And then, if you want to gain weight, you would eat more than that, and if you want to lose it, you eat less. Yeah. Pretty mind-blowing revelations I'm making on this podcast. But it's as simple as like if you
just took what I said, which is you can't eat anything, and you put it into gerbil gabble.
I brought some science into it.
Kind of. And you just made up terms.
Yeah. I said threshold.
All these beautiful pasta dishes. Well, this is the thing. This is my challenge. It's not my challenge. It's everybody's challenge. You just want to be healthy. So I'm a little heavier than I am, but I've also been riding the Peloton and getting thigh muscles. So, of course, I'm going to be a little heavier, but I also have boobs. So that makes me heavier, too. I guess the only thing to do is just not to eat ever. That's the way you have to do it. You're just not allowed to eat. And that is totally not what our podcast is about. Oh, life is hard, guys. Life is hard. Isn't it hard? Well, Joey, how long have we been on?
Been going for 59 minutes.
What? No way.
Yep.
Do I have timing or what?
Pretty impressive.
It is impressive. I've always been that way. I've always been in sync with the clock. I never got in trouble for curfew.
Yeah.
It would drive my sister crazy. She could not get a grip on time.
Mm-hmm.
And I would be just intuitively walking in right under the wire.
Yeah.
Just a natural kind of thing. I wonder why that is.
Yeah.
Because time is kind of a man-made construct, or our telling of time.
Mm-hmm. I should say there is an analog clock sitting right on the table here, but I don't think Tom looked at it.
I can't see that.
Yeah, I don't.
I like this new clock idea, but I don't know where we're going to put it.
Yeah, well,
maybe just lean it up there, like it is when we do our show. You hide it.
Mm-hmm.
Our guests don't know; they don't know. Yeah. I bought that clock for my wife when I went to a clock shop. She likes to have a clock in the kitchen, and her favorite one broke. And then I went to this clock shop, and I was shopping around, and they didn't have a great selection. And I got this one, this refurbished clock. I was very excited, and I gave it to her for her birthday or Mother's Day. She did not like it. She was not a fan of the clock. And I realized, wait a minute, why am I trying to fix the clock that broke? And then This is a modern day tale. Went on Amazon and they had the same clock for like $15. It's like in the olden days, you'd fix stuff and keep going. Now you throw it in the garbage heap and just buy a new one.
Shame.
Is it though?
Yeah.
I guess it is if you don't like polluting things.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, but having it arrive the very next day is pretty nice.
It is a dream. It really is a dream. All right, guys. Well, how about this? How about you send... If we wanted our podcast people to ask questions, not these crazy Instagrammers, how would they tell us? Just DM us on Instagram? They'd still have to go use Instagram?
On Instagram.
Or Facebook?
Any comments, Tom and I read them. YouTube, there's comment on the video.
Maybe what we have to do is create a fan page on Facebook like the fans do.
Yeah.
And then let them all live on there. And then we go there to answer the questions.
Yeah.
That could be a thing.
Yeah.
I just liked resetting without a guest today and talking about the book. Next week, we're going to have Tom Vecchione on. Very funny comedian. Has a new YouTube special out. He's really, really a funny comedian. And then knock out a couple more while I'm in New York. And but I do like the idea of not having guests all the time.
Yeah.
This is a lot of inside baseball. Thanks for hanging in there, guys, as I try and figure out whether we need more comedy or bread, how long we have to do the podcast, and whether or not we should have a guest or not. You guys are the best. Thank you for putting up with the book promotion, but it's the only way to get the word out. So I'm going to have to do it for the next couple of weeks, and you're just going to have to take it. It's summertime. When we were traveling, doing our shows, way overdressed, having a hat and a jacket, all around the country. We were in Cincinnati, Atlanta, going off to Cleveland. Baseball is in the air. Hot dogs are being made. It's summertime. It's time to dial it in. Yeah. I got to get my physical over with so I can figure out. I mean, look, what's the worst thing? They say your blood pressure is getting a little high, chubsy-ubsy. Take this pill and keep eating. That'd be a pretty good thing.
That'd be nice.
The whole objective is just to keep eating. You guys are the best. Thank you for listening. We'll see you next time.